Obi supporters protest alleged underage registration. Tennis reminds Nigerians of World Cup failure. Federal government deploys security agents in INEC offices nationwide. We are happy Chief 5 governors are still in PDP. Atiku campaign cancel. The chief spokesperson for the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, on Thursday led a delegation of supporters of presidential candidate Peter Obi on a peaceful protest in Abuja against alleged underage voters, vote buying plots, and discrepancies reported in the newly released register of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The demonstration, which started from Unity Fountain to the INEC headquarters, slowed down traffic on some major roads following the unveiling of the preliminary register of voters on its website ahead of the 2023 general elections. INEC came under heavy criticism over allegations of multiple registrations and discrepancies on the register. This led to an outcry on social media, especially Twitter, where many screenshots of profiles of persons who had registered multiple times were posted. The Super Eagles of Nigeria suffered a 4-0 loss to Portugal in an international friendly played on Thursday, November 17, 2022. Missing star forward and captain Cristiano Ronaldo, the Portuguese were not lacking quality against the African side. It took Portugal just 9 minutes to go in from when Bruno converted a ball through to him by his Manchester United teammate Diego Dalot. In the 35th minute, Portugal scored the second when Fernandes converted the penalty spot. The Euro 2016 winners went to the halftime break with a 2-goal quotient as the Super Eagles made changes to start the second half. In the 81st minute, Nottingham Forest forward Emmanuel Dennis missed the penalty for the Super Eagles. Goncalo Ramos was assisted by Rafael to score the third for Portugal. João Mario scored the fourth, assisted by Ramos, as Portugal ran riot against Nigeria. This was the first time the Super Eagles would play after a 2-1 loss to Algeria in Oran. Portugal are contenders for the 2022 FIFA World Cup and reminded Nigerians of the lack of quality in the Super Eagles as they recorded a comfortable victory in front of their fans at the Estadio José Alvalade in Lisbon. There were several topics to discuss following the Super Eagles' defeat to Portugal. The loss was a wake-up call to the lack of quality on the side. Fans were critical of Atalanta forward Ademola Lookman, who is still unable to replicate his form in the Italian Serie A with the Super Eagles. New head coach Jose was slammed for the tactics he decided to deploy. However, Nottingham Forest striker Emmanuel Dennis rose to the top of the trends for his penalty miss. When the penalty was awarded, he battled out with the Genk forward Paul Onauche to take only for it to be saved. The Portuguese capitalized immediately to score the third and kill off any form of comeback. Following the game, there were negative remarks about Dennis in the Nigerian football social media space. In a move to protect the Independent National Electoral Commission assets ahead of the 2023 general elections, the federal government has deployed the Department of State Services personnel, soldiers, civil defense cooperatives, as well as federal fire services personnel in INEC offices nationwide. It has directed the security services to enhance intelligence gathering, sharing and utilization of the same to stem acts of political violence which have assumed an increasing dimension in recent weeks. The Inspector General of Police Usman Baba, who disclosed this during a meeting with the chairman leading political parties at the first headquarters in Abuja, on Thursday disclosed that the police recorded 52 violent cases in 6 weeks. The meeting, which was attended by the chairman of the PDP, Yocha Ayu, the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Felix Morka, and other parties chieftain was sequel to the attacks on the Ogun and Osun state offices to INEC last week, and other incidences of physical violence by party supporters in Borno, Kaduna, Zamfara, and other states. The Atiku Presidential Campaign Organization has expressed delight that the G5 group of governors of the People's Democratic Party are still in the party, in spite of their demand regarding the party's leadership. The Director of Strategic Communications of the organization, Dele Momodu, said while addressing newsmen in Abuja that the fact they were still in the party was an indication that there was still room for reconciliation in the party. Momodu, who was responding to a question on whether the council was concerned that Governor Nyesom Wike of Delta State simply endorsed the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, in Port Harcourt on Thursday. Momodu said that he was aware that was not the first visit of Obi to Port Harcourt and is hosted by Wike. On the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics report on poverty and unemployment rate, Momodu said that Abubakar has solutions to the challenges. You can't give what you don't have, and that is why Atiku Abubakar is the best choice. When you look at what he has been able to do both in public and private life, you know that he is the most experienced and prepared candidate in the race. Today, there is none close to him. He is one that operated at the national level, so he knows what to do immediately, Momodu said. Here are the headlines again. Obi supporters protest alleged underage registration. Tennis reminds Nigerians of World Cup failure. Federal government deploys security agents in INEC offices nationwide. We're happy G5 governors are still in PDP. Atiku Okwa Campaign Council. Thank you for listening. I am Odele Kimofin follower.